أو كيف السبيل
Humanity sets the agenda.
تصنع المستحيل.
All marriages, no matter how good, can be made better. A good marriage has some basic qualities. Both partners are totally committed to the relationship and are willing to invest time and energy. They communicate effectively with each other and know how to resolve their difference. And they have learned to be flexible. There is no right way to be married. Many kinds of partnerships can work out great, however, there is a wrong way to be married by not investing in the relationship. All right. So we're going to be finding out what you can do, or rather, how to invest in your marriage, in your relationship, so that it lasts longer. Whether you've been married for 6 days, 6 months, 6 years, this is what you can do. And joining me right now is a family and relationship coach, Marian Mphutu. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sister Mariam, and shukran for joining me.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and thank you for inviting me.
All right, first of all, let's start off with the general definition of an investment. What is an investment?
Okay, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So we will look at the word investment from the marriage perspective. And it means that this investment means the marriage that is conducted with the intention of allowing the two people who are married to each other to grow in love together and allowing this love to grow as they grow themselves and procreate by Allah's will.
Mm-hmm. Why is investing in a marriage important?
Investing in marriage is extremely important with the reasons that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not just put the two people together without no reason. So when we look at the hadith by Anas bin Malik, where he says, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever Allah provides with a righteous wife, Allah has assisted him in half of his religion. Let him see Allah there in the second half. So this is the essence of marriage, of investing in marriage. Imagine one having the half of his religion completed already by getting married to his wife or his wife. And the second half is for him to do other parts of worship in order to complete his part of worship. So the main reason here is so that one can complete his half of religion, and so that person has to invest very well in that first half that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has provided.
Mm-hmm. What should one's marriage investments consist of?
So there are a number of things that the marriage can consist of, including, for example, the two couples have to learn and know each other in order to know how and when to invest on each other. This means that they've got to master the art of knowing each other. And therefore, after that, they've got to reassure one's love through their love languages. So this means that each and every couple has to know the other's love language in order to be able to invest effectively. For example, some people prefer or naturally like words of affirmation, while
Mhm.
other people like quality time, others just like receiving gifts, and others just like acts of service, and while others like things like physical touches and all that. So this is upon each and every couple in this investment to know what kind of love language the other prefers or loves, so that they can effectively invest, shooting the target into the right spot for the other spouse.
Mhm. So basically, what we need to do is first learn each other's love language, and then find ways to invest in the marriage.
Yes, yes, definitely. And there are a number of other things that they can do. For example, doing things together, praying together, planning things together, traveling together, doing some fun things together, like playing together. It's one of the things that they may look small, but they are huge when it comes to investing in love or investing in marriage. They have to work on the budget together. It's important. They've got to keep in contact. Let's say they they stay or they work apart from each other. They've got to keep contact. They shouldn't lose contact the whole day. The other one doesn't know what the other one is doing. So they've got to check on each other by calling each other, by sending messages and all that. So the other important thing, Sister Mariam, is also showing appreciation towards each other. Leave a small note of appreciation, for example, on the table before the other one leaves, or one way or the other, the way they prefer it, and planning a special date together as a surprise or together. There is no problem, and it's a surprise, of course. It becomes more romantic. And then they have to also do things like buying gifts for each other, telling each other in person how much they appreciate each other. And if I
Mhm.
can go further, a little bit further on that, is one of the most important issue here is communication, that they've got to invest. This is one of the, if this element is left out, it breaks the families, or it breaks the couples or this union. This is about communication. They shouldn't just ignore each other, hear about each other's issues from other people, and so on and so forth. They've got to open up amongst themselves and talk. They should not just hear from each other, but they've got to effectively listen to each other and respond to each other in a way that the other spouse feel happy and satisfied with the answer. And that will assure the other spouse that the other one was listening and was ready to answer effectively to him or her.
Mhm. Now, for those who have kids, whether they are 2 years old or 14 or 16, how can you take time away from the kids to just focus on your relationship together as a couple?
So, this is going back to quality time. That is, if the spouses prefer this kind of love language for themselves. So it is important to have good relations with the other family members in a way that whenever they want to share their quality time alone, meaning a wife and a husband, it should be easier for them to leave their children with their other family members. to take care of them so that they can either go out and spend some quality time together or just stay at home and spend some quality time together while the children are away with the other family members who are responsible to take care of them.
Mm-hmm. Right. And what are some mistakes that we tend to make when, trying to invest in the marriage?
Yeah, so some mistakes that people do, sorry, is sometimes it's, if conflict occurs and people, prefer to ignore this conflict that occur amongst themselves. They do not, try even to resolve them, So they go about misunderstanding each other. They go about taking small issues and making them big, as if they're big matters. And, it becomes the whole mess in terms of trying to invest in this situation or in love or marriage. Issues like money issues, children issues, family members issues, sometimes the issues of jobs or businesses, and they interfere negatively in this union, in this kind of investment. If the slight or small conflicts not resolved, amongst themselves. And I always tell the couples that, they are the first steps towards resolving their conflict. That is before they think of going out and telling other people or trying to solve them with other people. Yes, it is important, but they should always remember and know that they are the first step going back to effective communication that they have to have in order to solve their conflict. So what happens is when they skip this first step of talking to each other and effectively solving their conflict, and then they start going outside, this may damage the flow of the investment in this marriage in a way that other people may misunderstand and further damage what has already been damaged. And the other bigger mistake that the couples do, they go and ask for advice from wrong people. When I mean wrong people, I mean people who are not skilled in solving the problems, the marital problems or conflicts. Then it causes a bigger danger to what they have already. So these are some of the problems that they encounter while they are trying to invest in their marriages.
All right. Shukran so much for your tips. Let us take a quick break and we will continue thereafter, inshallah.
Yes.
Approximately 785 million people in this world do not have access to safe, clean water. In developing countries, around 80% of all illnesses are due to contaminated water and poor sanitation. Don't let dirty water end a life. Build a water well in Bangladesh, Malawi, Nepal, Zimbabwe, or here at home in South Africa. Donate to Penny Appeal's Thirst Relief Project to bring safe, clean water to communities around the world. www.pennyappeal.org.za or call 031 1100 573. Penny Appeal. Small change, big difference.
What makes Randery Jewelers the optimum place for your memorable gift? Is it our range of exclusive, high-end, luxurious jewellery? Or is it our master craftsmanship of all your bespoke jewellery needs? We believe it's because at Randery Jewelers, we know just how to make your special moments last forever. Whether it's for a wedding, anniversary, or just a simple gift to show your love, trust Randery Jewelers to make it special. www.randeryjewelers.com. Make your moments last forever with Randery Jewelers, the family name you can trust.
Your act of love gives hope. Islamic Relief supports orphans and vulnerable children in 28 countries with food, education, and medical care. There are more than 150 million orphans in the world. You can give hope to one. Sponsor an orphan today. Go to www.islamic-relief.org.za.
Breaking stereotypes, moving boundaries, joining hands. Salam Media.
لا تقل لوحدي أو كيف السبيل
Humanity sets the agenda.
تصنع المستحيل.
Welcome back. You are listening to the Mid-Morning Talk on Salam Media with me, Marian Mphutu, and we are talking about investing in your marriage, your marital relationship with your spouse, with the relationship and family counselor, Marian Mphutu. Shukran for staying on the line, Sister Mariam. Now, is it possible to revive a lost marriage, marriage that has been around for a while and has seen some ups and downs, and the couple are now thinking of going their separate ways?
Definitely, yes, it is possible. First of all, when the couples believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they will know definitely that there is nothing impossible with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And from there, they've got to take some initiative towards resolving their broken marriage. So, as previously spoken, I pointed out the important factor that they've got to be the first step towards resolving whatever that might have occurred amongst themselves. And if they do not succeed in that, of course, they've got to involve the immediate families from each couple's family. And if still there is no way out through this second step, then they can go and meet the marriage counselors outside there. These are the professionals, people who are trained to try their level best to see how to bring back the marriage towards the two people. They shouldn't lose hope right at the first step. There are some things that might have occurred that just needs to be mended, and then they move on. Sometimes it might be something psychologically that might have affected one partner or one spouse or both of them. So they've got to see the psychologist, they've got to see the therapist and the counselor for that. Sometimes it might be something related to legal matters. So they've got to look at the legal advisors to help them through this. And sometimes, subhanAllah, it might be that it's something related to black magic or sihr, as we call it. So they've got to either do the ruqya on themselves or they consult people who can be able to do ruqya, the sunnah ruqya on them. So there are some things people shouldn't just give up. We live in this world as Muslims as if this world is a prison. It's like a prison for us. There are so many challenges. Even those who pray and fast and do all kinds of worship, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said He will test us. He will test us. The journey to Jannah is not that easy for us to live and then go to Jannah. We have to struggle. We have to face these challenges, and we have to try our level best to defeat the trials or the challenges that are facing us in our marriages. we shouldn't just give up at the first go. Give it an effort. Make some effort towards, mending your marriage. Fight for your marriage. And if all that a person has done doesn't work, then natawakkal ala Allah, we put our trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we may go our separate ways. But on the serious note, that should be after a person has exhausted all possible means of resolving the marriage.
All right, Sister Mariam, now you are a professional in your field. Earlier on, you spoke about people going to speak to professionals, people who know how to deal with such situations. So please give us a little bit about what you do and how people can find you, how people can contact you for your services.
So I do specialize on keeping the marriages alive, inshallah, by Allah's will, meaning I specialize on marriage counseling. I am passionate on seeing the couples being happy together by all means. So I explore all the means that are there that may cause the problems into marriages, in the marriages of the people, and I go deep on the root causes, and I try my level best to get rid of the root causes of the problems, or what might cause the problems in the marriage, and from there we see the possible solutions, and I give the couples the task towards trying to come up with the solutions themselves as well, and then implement them thereafter. Because I always tell my clients that if you go to a doctor, you are sick, you go to a doctor, and a doctor prescribes for you the medication. What happens if you don't take that medication? You will still feel sick. You will still feel ill. So it's the same thing. You go to a counselor, and a counselor diagnoses you and finds out the root causes of the problems and give you the solutions at hand. And do this and this and that. Or, sometimes it's a collaborative thing from the counselor and from the couples themselves. Then we come up with the solution. We said, this is what you have to do in order to save your marriage. So it's either those people are serious about saving their marriages or not. If they are serious, they will implement what is supposed to be implemented, and inshallah, their marriage will prosper and become alive again. And if they are not serious, of course, they won't do. And at the end of the day, the marriage, unfortunately, will break, and they might end up, in divorce and separations and all that. But on top of that, of course, we believe as Muslims that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the doer of everything. He is the one who, if he wants to do something, he says be, and it becomes. And if he doesn't want something to happen, it won't happen. So some matters are, of course, above our capabilities. We may try whatever we want to try, but if Allah wills that marriage cannot survive, it will not survive, even if the couples would have added some extra effort and commitment in that. But nevertheless, even though we know this fact, the couples still have to try to take some steps towards fixing their marriages before they think of just going separate ways at the first goal.
All right. Shukran so much for your time, Sister Mariam. And how can our listeners contact you?
So then the people can contact me on my cell phone number 06 74 757 8329. 074 757 8329.
All right. Jazakallah so much for your time once again, and have a wonderful day. Assalamu alaikum.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. جزاك الله خيرا.
That was relationship and family counselor Marian Mphutu giving us insight on the importance of investing in your marriage. Even if you've been married for a long time, there is a way to revive your marriage. And just simple tips, simple and quick and easy things that you can do. For example, ask your spouse how their day went and then really listen to their response. Check in at least one time in the middle of the day, maybe during lunchtime or whenever you can call or you can send a text message. Some of us like tagging each other in posts or sharing a video or a joke. Do something to check in on your spouse and pray together. A family that prays together stays together. So pray together at least once a day. If you can't make it 5 times, at least try to pray at least once a day. When your spouse gets home from work, at least welcome them. Stop whatever it is that you're doing to welcome them. Go to bed at the same time. Talk more about than just the week's agenda and what happened at work. Oh, this is what happened, blah blah blah. Talk about other things. I mean, if you're watching a program together that you like, let's discuss the program, discuss the news, read a book and discuss the book as well, but talk about more than just what's been happening at work, etc. And spend a minimum of 5 minutes each night talking to one another, whether it's at night or early in the morning. But to use the time when the kids are asleep and it's nice and quiet to talk to one another for at least 5 minutes. 5 minutes is a minimum. You can prepare breakfast together, do the dishes together, do something together. And if you're not with your spouse, at least you can pray for them, pray for your spouse, make dua for them, say, I love you each and every day. And if you don't, at least start now. And also kiss daily, whether it's a peck on the lips, on the cheek, on the forehead. Kiss daily and let your spouse know exactly how you feel about them, even if you don't say it in many words. Share your comments with us via our WhatsApp line on 061 766 0355, or you can leave them in the comments section. And if you've just joined us, unfortunately, you've missed out, but don't worry, you can always watch and tune in a little later on during your own time, because this interview is available on our social media platforms. So shukran for listening. Stay with us because we will be right back.